Right. So I'll connect with the database. Right. So our questions were like this. Yes. So we were talking about the question numbers 18, 19, 20, and 21. So the 18th question is saying view teacher details who has a name starting letter S, right? View teacher details who has a name starting from letter S, should be, right? So we know like it is in the teacher info, right? So we can say select teacher info. I'm sorry, not select teacher info. Select, they are talking about all the details, right? Yes. So select asterisk from teacher info, where it's the T name, like, so it is asking a name starting with letter S, right? So a name starting with letter S means we don't know how many letters are there, but we know it is starting from S, right? So we say S and the percentage. So we put the semicolon and we are going to execute this. Yeah, here we go. So there is only one teacher in the database, that is Sarath. So you are taking the answer, right? So if you have written the query, if you got any mistakes, it's time for you to get correct. I'll give you a minute to do the changes. Right. So, okay. So I'm moving to the second question. Second means like the 20th question. View student ID and date of birth of students who are traveling from address ends with the letter A. So the address is going to ends with letter A, and we need the student ID and the date of birth of the students. So we can say select S name and DOB from student info, where address like, then we have to say the address, it says the address ends with letter A. So we don't know how many characters are at the beginning, but we know it ends from A. So it says the student ID and the date of birth neither. So it's not the S name, it's going to be the S ID.
So the asterisk දෙමුත් වර්ධිද?
Asterisk එක දැම්මොත් වර්ධිනවා නිර්මාණ. මොකද ප්‍රශ්නේ කියන්නේ වැරදි කියලා කියන්නේ query එක වැරදි නෑ නිර්මාණ. ප්‍රශ්න කියලා තියෙන ස්ටුඩන්ට් ID එකයි date of birth උයි පෙන්වන්න කියලා. ඒකට අනුව වර්ධින. right asterisk එක දැම්මොත් ඔයාලට output එකක් එනවා no problem. right හැබැයි ප්‍රශ්නෙට අදාළ උත්තරේ නෙවෙයි ඔයා එතනට දෙන්නේ. හරි? right so if I execute this, yeah, here it comes. S001, S002, S004, and S005, right? And if you looked into this, if you look into these students, yeah, so like S001 address is ending with A, S002 address ends with A, not the S003, but S004 and S005. So that is the output it is given to you. Right, so do the corrections if you got any errors. I'm moving to the next one within a minute. Okay, so let's move to the next question. So the next one says it is 21st. I'm sorry, the 20th. View details of the student or students who has 5 characters in the name start with letter S and ends with letter A. Right, so it is specified. There are 5 characters starting with letter S, ending with letter A. Right, so it's going to be like this. So it says view details, right? So in that case, we have to use the asterisk, select all from student info, where S name like. So since we know the starting letter is S, and since we know it is it has 5 characters, so this is 3 underscores people, so you can't see those are separately because they're like attached to each other. So like 3 underscores, and it's end with a A, right?
So semicolon දාන්න ඕනමද?
අනිවාර්යයෙන් ඒක මතක තියාගන්න. semicolon එක නැති වුණොත් පුතේ කියන්නේ semicolon එක නැතුව execute කරන්න පුළුවන් විභාගයට ලකුණු අස් කරනවා, right? and මේක double quotes නැතුව standard එක single quotes යන එක, right? මම කලින් ඒවා double quotes නම් දැම්මේ single quotes වලට යන්න, right? All right, so I'm going to execute this. Okay, it says nothing. අපිට කවුරුත් නැද්ද ඒ විදිහට ඉවර වෙන? Starting with S and end with A. එහෙම කට්ටිය නෑ මට මතක විදිහට. Yeah. Starting with S and ending with N දුන්න නම් සමන්ව අපිට අරගන්න පුළුවන්. Right? අපි මම ඒක චුට්ටක් execute කරලා පෙන්නන්නම්. Right? So if I give N over here, right, ඔයගොල්ලන්ගේ question එකේ අහලා තියෙන්නේ S වලින් පටන් අරන් A වලින් ඉවර වෙන අය. Right? But if I take starting from S ending with N, so this may give me saman, right? Because the name starts with S and ends with N, right? So according to your query, it should be A, right? So this should be your correct answer. So if you got it, got anything to be corrected, it's now the time.
So ඔතෙන්ට ඇස්ට්‍රික් එන්න අර උඩේකට ඇස්ට්‍රික් එන්න තියෙන හේතුව මොකද මම උඩේකට ඇස්ට්‍රික් දාලා තියෙන්නේ.
උඩයකට කිව්වේ මේ
දැන් අදපු එකට
මෙතනටද මේකට ඇස්ට්‍රික් එනවා නිර්මාණ. ඒකට එන්න හේතුව අපි මේකේ ඩීටේල්ස් නිල්ලලා තියෙන්නේ. ක්වෙස්චන් එකේ කියලා තියෙන්නේ මේකේ කියලා තියෙන්නේ view details කියලානේ. ඒතර අපි දන්නේ නැහැනේ මොනවාද details කියන එක. එතකොට අපි ඔක්කොම ටික අරගන්නවා. මේ උඩ එකේ පැහැදිලිවම කියලා තියෙනවානේ student id එකයි date එකයි විතරයි ගන්න ඕනේ කියලා. date of birth විතරයි ගන්න ඕනේ කියලා. එතකොට ඒ දෙක විතරක් අරගන්නවා.
හරි සර්.
හරි?
කියන්නේ මෙන්න මේ දේ ඕනේ කියලා තිබ්බොත් අපි ඇස්ට්‍රික් දාන්න ඕනේ නැහැ නේද?
අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම. ඒව ඕනේ කියලා අවශ්‍ය දේවල් කියලා තිබුණොත් අපි පාවිච්චි කරන්න ඕනේ කියලා තියෙන columns ටික. සමහර වෙලාවට මෙහෙම කරනවා. දැන් ඔයාලට ප්‍රශ්නේ ඕනේ කියලා මේ SID, name, address, DOB, gender, CID, fee කියන ඔක්කොම පෙන්වන්න කියලා ඒක දානවා. ඒතකොට එතනදී ඔයා කමාද දාලා ලිව්වත් හරි ආයෙත් ඔක්කොම පෙන්වන්න ඕන නිසා asterisk එක දැම්මත් හරි. ඒ ඔක්කොම පෙන්වන්න කියලා ඉල්ලලා තියෙනවා නම් කීපයක් පෙන්වන්න කියලා තිබුණොත් අනිවාර්යෙන් මේ පෙන්වන්න කියන ටික තමයි select එකේ select කරන්න ඕනේ. right? ඒ කියන්නේ පෙන්වන්න කියන එකට අදාළව තියෙන columns ටික. දැන් ස්ටුඩන්ට් නේම් එක තෝරන්න කියලා කිව්වම ස්ටුඩන්ට් නේම් කියලා අපේ මේ ටේබල් එකේ නෑනේ අපි තියෙන S name. ඒතර අපි දැනගන්න ඕනේ S name එක තමයි මෙතනට ඇප්ලයි කරන්න ඕනේ කියලා. හරි? Right. So moving to the 21st. View details of the names of the teacher who has the letter E at the middle of their name. So E අකුරක් නමේ මැදක තියෙන එක. හරි මැද කියන එක නෙවෙයි. නම ඇතුලේ තියෙන ටීචර්ස් ලගේ details ටික පෙන්වන්න කියලා තියෙන්නේ. So we can say select asterisk from this time we are taking teacher info where S name like percentage E percentage, right? We don't know how it starts. We don't know how the name ends. But all we need is like if there is a E inside the name, so show me the name, right? So I'm executing it. Oh, it's not executing. Do I got an error? Ah, yes, S name kilo column ekak nane. Sorry, this is T name. Yeah, so here we go. Neela, Geeta, and Kirti. Everyone got E inside it. So all three teachers are being selected. Right, so this is going to be your correct query. So go through it. If you got any errors, just make them correct. And meanwhile, people, is it clear so far? Can I have the confirmation? If you got any questions until this point, you can ask again. Yes, everyone? Is it clear so far? Right, okay. How about others? Right. Okay, so today we are going to learn from this point onwards. Now, after like, what are the things that we are going to do? Right, so let me take the note. Right. So we learn about the like statement. We use those things when we don't, when we have no exact idea about the value, right? So we say, just choose this type of uh, records which has this kind of value, right? So in the next one, we are talking about the order by statement. Now, this order by statement is there to make our output ordered as an ascending order or a descending order regarding a particular column or particular columns, right? So if we are like taking a particular output, if we have S name inside it, so we can arrange our output ordered by the S name. So the students who start their name by A will be at the top, and towards the Z, the other names will be arranged into an order. So it is called the ascending order, right? If we arrange it into a descending order, so the names start by Z, or like the letters which has the end of the alphabet, those will be there at the top in your output. So towards the A, the names will be arranged as a descending order. So not only the names, when it comes to the figures, if you arrange it as the ascending orders, the smallest figure will be at the top and the largest figure will be at the bottom. If you think about the dates, the earlier date will be at the top and the later one at the bottom, if you go it for the ascending order. And if you go it for the descending order, it goes the other way around. Anyway, the order by statement is there to do the ordering part, right? So either the ascending order or in descending order, we can arrange our output. And again, to use the order by, where is not a must, where condition එක තියෙන්නම අවශ්‍ය නැහැ. where එක නැතුව අපිට order by එක ගන්න පුළුවන්. But there should be select and from, because from like using the select, we say what are the columns that we are going to select. Using the from, we are illustrating from which table we are taking the data, right? So condition, it is optional, right? Without the where clause, you can use the order by, right? Total එක අරගෙන order කරගන්න පුළුවන්, right? And if the where clause exists, it comes before the order by definitely, right? where එක තියෙනවා නම් order by එකට කලින් දාන්න ඕනේ, right? එහෙම වුණොත් select comes first, from come next, where comes later, then after the order by is going to be there, right? Okay, so let's see how the order by is happens. You can see there are two keywords called A, C, and D, E, S, C, right? Let's talk it through the example. So the example that we are given is like, we may wish to list the contents of the table store information by sales amount in descending order, right? So they are going to retrieve all the details in the store information table, which is this table, but they need those data to be arranged by sales amount in descending order. So that means the top most sales will be, or like the highest sales will be at the top, right? So the lowest sales will be at the bottom. So how they have said, select, here they have taken city, comma, sales, comma, date. So instead of this, you can use asterisk, right? From store information, that is the name that they have given, and order by, it says sales. Let me just a second. Sorry for that, Lamai. Chuttake podda prashnak. Right, okay. So here they say select city, comma, sales, comma, date. So we can use the asterisk as well, since we are selecting all the columns. And then from, we say what's the name of the table, store information. Then we use order by clause, 2 words, order by, and we are going to say from which column that we are going to order. Right, so we say sales. And since we need to arrange the sales as the descending order, right? So we say this keyword DESC, which indicates this output is going to be order by sales in descending order. Now, if you want to arrange this in ascending order, that is the default ascending default order of the order by clause. So we really don't need to specify like ASC instead of DESC. ASC කියන එක දෙන්න අත්‍යවශ්‍යම නැහැ. මොකද original form එක තියෙන්නේ ascending order එකට. order by sales කිව්වොත් by default එයා ascending order එකට තමයි arrange කරගන්නේ. Right, but in case if you want to suggest that this is going to be arranged as an ascending order, so there is no any wrong if you give ASC. Again, you can omit that as well. Right, but DESC, we have to specifically say, otherwise it's going to arrange as an ascending order. And again, there is a nice thing that we can do with this order by, instead of using the column names, we can use the column indexes. Right, now when it comes to the column indexes, now this is a little bit special. Right, now you know most of the indexes are starting from a 0. Right, but here in the SQL, index is not going to start from a 0. It's going to start from 1. So the first column has the index 1 and the second column has the index 2. Right, so without saying the name of the column, instead of it, we can use the column index to say from which column that we are going to order by. Right, so here it has given the example. So it says select city, sales, and date from store information, order by 2. Right, so then DESC. Right, so likewise, you will be able to order by the things using a particular column name or using its index of the column. Right. Is that clear, everyone?
AC and DESC කියන එක ආයෙ පොඩ්ඩක් කියන්න පුළුවන්ද? ඒ ටික තේරුන්නේ. order by
ASC කියලා කියන්නේ නිර්මාණ ascending order එකට ආරෝහණ පිළිවෙලට මේක order කරගන්න කියලා. DESC එකෙන් කියන්නේ descending order එකට අවරෝහණ පිළිවෙලට මෙයාව arrange කරගන්න කියලා. Right? දැන් ඔයගලන්ගේ ප්‍රශ්නෙන් අහලා තියෙන්නේ ඔව් teacher details class details නේ. ඔව් මම මේක චුට්ටක් ඔයගලන්ට කරලා පෙන්නනම් මොකද මේකේ ascending order එකේ අපිට මම example එකකට දීලා නැහැ. We can use more than one particular column to do the order by thing as well. Right? මම student table එක පාවිච්චි කරනවා because you don't have any questions from student table. So if I say like select asterisk from student info order by name, sorry, order by S name. That's what they have. Right? If I say like this, now originally my the student table is like this. Ek order vela thiyene originally SID එකේ. Right? Now these are the S names. So who comes first? Durga should come first. Right? Because she is D. There is no A, there is no B, there is no C. The starting letter has the names. So it's D, Durga should come first. Right? I haven't say whether it is whether to order by as ASC or DESC. So by default, it's going to arrange as ASC. So here I'm running the query. Yeah. So like I said, Durga comes first, Hamsi comes second, then Kamal, Malini, Nimal, and Saman. Right? And if I say ASC over here, it does the same thing. It gives me the same thing. There is no difference. Again, Durga, Hamsi, Kamal, Malini, Nimal, and Saman will be there as the order. And if I say DESC, so it goes the other way around. Saman comes first, Nimal comes second, then the Malini, Kamal, Hamsi, and Durga will be there. Right? Just a second, people. Right. So, yeah, it is like this. Now we can use order by statement for more than one particular column when we are having things like this. Right? Now, if we ask to order by from the address, right? Instead of S name. Now, if we run this query, we can see Colombo comes first. Homagama comes second. Kottava comes third. Right? So these two things has the same value. Right? So the exact same thing. So how this record comes first and this record comes second? I මේ දෙවෙනි එක්කෙනා එක නොඋනේ. Right? When we are just asking to order by some column which has the same values inside it, it arranges the things with the help of the SID. Right? එතකොට Colombo වල S003 මුලින්. Colombo වල S006 ඊට පස්සේ. Right? So if we want to order these things, all right, this is man kalabenana, right? So order by එකේ අපිට ඕනේ නම් address එකෙන් අරගෙන මේ output එක click කරනකොට මගේ මෙතන sorting method එක මෙතනින් change වෙනවා. But I'll run this and take it again. If we want to order this by address, then by S name, right? Now, if we are going to arrange like that, so it's going to be Colombo EFGH is the one which meets first. Ascending order, alphabetical order එකේ H නේ මුලින් අපිට හම්බෙන්නේ K ට කලින් H හම්බෙනවා. එහෙම වුණොත් අපි කිව්වොත් address එකේනුයි S name එකේනුයි දෙකෙන්ම කියන්නේ address එකෙන් මුලින් sort order කරන්න ඊළඟට S name එකෙන් ඊළඟට order කරන්න කියලා. Then Hamsi should comes first. Kamal should comes second. එතකොට මේ records දෙක මාරු වෙනවා. Right? මෙතනත් Durga comes first. Imal goes down. Right? මෙතනත් මාලනී උඩට එනවා සමන් පහළට යනවා. Right? So let's see how we are going to do this. I think we have to use a comma. Yes, we have to use a comma. Address, comma, name. I'm sorry, S name. Right, now I'm running the query. Yeah, can you see? Colombo and Hamsi comes first. Colombo and Kamal comes next. Homagam and Durga comes first, then Homagam and Nimal comes next. Kottav and Malini comes first, and Kottav and Saman comes next. Right, so ordering, like using more than one column inside the ordering will matters on a situation like this. So first column has duplicate values, so we are ordering it according to a second column, right, as per our need, right? That is not a must. අපේ වුවමනාවට අනුව ඒක manage කරගන්න පුළුවන්. Right? People, did you got this? තේරුණාද මේක?
සාය පොඩ්ඩක් කරලා වෙන්න.
හරි. නිර්මාණ මෙතන මම කලින් කරේ මේ address එකෙන් කියලා මම run කරාම නිර්මාණ බලන්නකො මේ Colombo එකනත් එක්ක එන්නේ Kamal. ඒ කියන්නේ S003 කියන එකන තමයි උඩට එන්නේ. ඊළඟට S006. එතකොට මම මෙතන දීලා තියෙන එක order by එකයිනේ. එතකොට ඒක ascending order එකට අනිත් එක එන්නේ. මම descending කියලා නැහැනේ. So C අකුරෙන් පටන් ගන්න addresses ටික මුලින් ඊළඟට H අකුරෙන් පටන් ගන්න දෙන්න ඊළඟට K අකුරෙන් පටන් ගන්න දෙන්න. එහෙම තමයි ඕක output වෙන්නේ. Right? දැන් එතනදී ගන්න basis එක තමයි address එකයි එයාට අදාළ SID එකයි. address එක අරගෙන ඒතර SID අඩු එක්කෙනා මුලට ගන්නවා. වැඩි එක්කෙනා පහළට ගන්නවා. ආයත් හෝමගමදී SID අඩු එක්කෙනා මුලට ගන්නවා වැඩි එක්කෙනා පහළට ගන්නවා. කොට්ටාවෙත් SID එක අඩු එක්කෙනා මුලින් වැඩි එක්කෙනා පහළට. එතකොට මම මෙතනදී නිර්මාණ තව කොලම් එකක් ගැන කිව්වොත් address එකෙන් අරගෙන ඊළඟට S name එක අරගන්න කියලා. එතකොට SQL consider කරන්නේ නැහැ SID එක. එතකොට එයා consider කරන්නේ Colombo and sname. ඒතර මෙතන Colombo කියන දෙන්නට අදාළව names තියෙනවා Kamal and Hamsi. ඒතර එයාව send in කරොත් Hamsi තමයි මුලට එන්න ඕනේ. මොකද H අකුරනේ alphabetical order එකේ මුලින් හම්බෙන්නේ. K අකුර හම්බෙන්නේ ඊට පස්සේ. right ඒක නිසා S006 එක එන්න ඕනේ උඩට S003 එක එන්න ඕනේ දෙවෙනි ලයින් එක විදිහට. පැහැදිලිද නිර්මාණ?
හරි සර්.
Right. Okay. So that is how we are going to order by more than one column. Right. And we can
අපිට ඔය
go.
අවුට්පුට්ස් ලියන්නේ නැහැ නේ කොයි වෙලාවක.
I know. Right. ඔයාට data table එක දීලා output යන්න කියලා එනවා. SQL එක දීලා ඔයාට කියනවා output එක ලියන්න කියලා. Right. ඒක නිසා දෙපැත්තටම ලෑස්ති පිට ඉන්න ඕන. Right. So I can do the same thing using the column indexes. Now address is number 3. SID is 1, SNAME is 2, address is 3. So if I ask them to order by 3, I can have the same output. See, same output. Instead of SNAME, I can choose 2 because SNAME is the second column. So still it's going to give me the same output. If I use 4, it's going to order by the date of birth. I'm going to run it. See, January 2nd comes first, February 3rd comes next, the March 4th, April 5th, May 6th, and June 7th. Right? So it is like that. And Dilsar අහලා තිබුණා ව්‍යය එකක් එකක් කරලා පෙන්නන්න කියලා. So I'll do the same. Let's say where gender equals M. පිරිමි ළමයි ටිකගේ විතරක් මං ෆිල්ටර් කරලා ගන්නවා. එයාව ඕඩර් කරනවා date of birth එකේ. ඒතර මගේ මේ 2 3 4 කියන තුන් දෙනා ඒ පිළිවෙලට එන්න ඕනේ. So here I execute. Yeah, here it comes. Saman, Nimal and Kamal. So 2 3 4 කියන කට්ටිය ඇවිල්ලා තියෙනවා. දිල්සර clear ද?
ඕඩර් බයි එකට 4 කියන
මොකද්ද මේ නිර්මාණ?
සර් ඕඩර් බයි කියන එකට 4 කියලා දැම්මේ.
ඒ 4 කියන එක එන්නේ නිර්මාණ මේ කොලම් එකටනේ නම මේ අංක එන්නේ. SID එකට එන්නේ 1 කියන අංකේ. SNAME එකට 2. address එකට 3. DOB එකට 4. ඒතර මගේ ඕඩර් වෙලා තියෙන්නේ date of birth එකේ.
හරි සර්.
හරි. ඒතර ඔයාට ඕඩර් බයි කරන එක කොලම් නේම් එකෙන් දෙන්නත් පුළුවන්. කොලම් ඉන්ඩෙක්ස් එකෙන් එන්නත් පුළුවන්.
එතකොට එතන SC DSC කියලා දාන්න ඕනේ නැද්ද?
මේකේ දැම්මේ නැති වුණොත් නිර්මාණ by default එන්නේ මොකෙන්ද? ascending විදියට. right? ආරෝහණ ක්‍රමයට තමයි by default එන්නේ. දැම්මේ නැති වුණොත්. අවරෝහණ කරගන්න අවශ්‍ය නම් අපි DESC කියලා විශේෂයෙන් කියන්න ඕනේ. Hari?
හරි සර්.
Right. Okay. So moving forward, අපි ඉතිරි ටිකක් කතා කරලම ප්‍රශ්න ටිකට එමු. So the next one is about the aggregate functions. Now it is something new and something important, right? So there are many aggregate functions that you can find in the SQL. But we are going to talk about these 5 aggregate functions, which is AVG, stands for average, count, literally count in number of items, max, to find the maximum value, min to find a minimum value, and sum to find a total, right? So these are used to do the mathematical operation on the figures, right? So like now, if you want to take the total sales from the store information table, that is what they have done here. So we can use the aggregate function called sum, right? So let's see how they have done that. So their requirement is, if we want to get the sum of all sales, you can sales column එකේ තියෙන figures ඔක්කොගෙම එකතුව from the following table store information. So what they have done is they have taken select sum within brackets sales. So sum is the aggregate function. Within brackets, brackets are must, we have to say which columns sum we are going to consider about, right? So select එකේ කියනවා sales column එකේ sum එක ගන්න, right? So using the sum function, we say, okay, take the sum. The column name indicates inside the brackets will define what is the column that the SQL need to consider to get the total. So then from what is the table, right? Simple as that. So it will give you the total sales of this. So මේ figures ටික එකතු වුණාම නේද 1500යි 250යි 1750යි 1750යි 300යි 2050යි 2050යි 700යි 2750. And look at the output. The table header comes as some sales. It is this name that we have defined in the in the query, right? Then it shows what's the total sales regarding the sales column, right? And so the average, max, mean goes the same way, right? If you say average sales, so 2750 will be divided by 4 and we'll show the average sales. මොකද මෙතන entries 4ක් තියෙන නිසා. And if you say count, so count function එක පහල පෙන්නලා තියෙනවා අපි ගැන කතා කරමු, right? Then the max, like if you put instead of some sales, if you put max sales, it's going to show you this particular sale, right? From the student, I'm sorry, from the store information table. And again, mean, you're going to find this particular 250 regarding the Gampa, right? So likewise, and count is special. Now all this average, max, mean, sum, they are working on the numeric types, but count is just counting the items. So it doesn't matter whether it is a numeric kind of data or non-numeric kind of data, right? It's just count the entries, right? So as an example, they have taken, if we want to find the number of city entries in our table, store information, right? So they take select, count, within brackets city contains the text values from store information, right? So count city is going to be the output and it will show you 4 as the number. And again, you will find like if it says 4, we don't have 4 cities inside here, නේද? අපි uniquely බැලුවොත් cities 3යි තියෙන්නේ. Colombo, Gampaha and Batticaloa. Because Colombo is repeating over here. So the very first keyword that we use to take out the duplicates, which is the distinct, can be used to do the same thing, right? So if you type it like count distinct city within the brackets, it will give you 3. Right? එතකොට කලින් කරේ මෙතන entries ගාන ගණන් කරපු එක. කියන්නේ මෙතන තියෙන city column එකේ තියෙන data ප්‍රමාණය count කරපු එක. දැන් මෙතනින් කරන්නේ city column එකේ තියෙන distinct data. එකිනෙකට වෙනස් data ප්‍රමාණය count කරන එක. Right. People, is that clear?
සයිදර ඩිස්ටිං ඩේට මවන්් එක තුනක් වෙන්න කොහොමද ඉතින් හතරම කෙනෙක වෙනස්
නෑනේ තමයි sorry මං disconnect වුණා එකපාරටම internet connection එක පොඩ්ඩක් වෙනස් තමයි මේ දවස් ටිකේ ඒක නිසා එහෙම වෙයි නිර්මාණ මේ කලම්බෝ කියන එක දෙසරයක් තියෙනවනේ පුතේ එතකොට distinct එකෙන් එක කලම්බෝ එකයි count කරන්නේ
හරි ඒ කියන්නේ අපි අර ගත්ත කොලම් එකට අනුවන්නේ සිටි කොලම් එකට අනුවනේ
සිටි දැන් මෙතන count කරන්න කියලා තියෙන සිටි එකනේ
එතකොට සේල්ස් කියන එකට ගත්තොත් හතරක්
සේල්ස් කියන එකට ගත්තොත් 4 තමයි එන්නේ එතකොට distinct sales දැම්මත් 4ම තමයි එන්නේ right okay so let's go with the group by statement as well so after that we have to අපිට හැබැයි එතකොට having statement එකක් කතා කරන්න තියෙනවා නේද මම බලන ප්‍රශ්න කීයක් අපිට කරන්න පුළුවන්ද කියලා දැන් let me see so we were holding from this point අපි ප්‍රශ්න ටික කරමු ප්‍රශ්න කීපයක් දැන් අපිට කරන්න පුළුවන් okay so start from 22nd and you can do until 28th right 22nd වල ඉඳලා 28th වෙනකම්ම කරන්න පුළුවන් right okay so start doing I'll show you the answers like how many there are like 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 queries are there I'll give you 10 minutes for this right so 524 I'm start discussing the answers for 534 right okay so try to write it as quickly as possible people okay give it a try
සර් කන්ඩිෂන් කියන්නේ මොකද්ද? ඒ කියන්නේ වෙයා කියන එකට.
කොතනද මේ නිර්මාණ?
වෙයා කියන එකට දාන්න ඕනේ සර් මේ අපි කොලම් නේම් එක නේද?
නෑ නෑ වේ කන්ඩිෂන් එක ඕන වෙන්නේ අපිට කන්ඩිෂන් එකක් අවශ්‍ය නම් විතරයි. දවස්
කන්ඩිෂන්
22 වෙනි එක කරන එක දහන්නේ.
ඔව්.
එතකොට ඒකේ අහලා තියෙන්නේ ටීචර් ඩීටේල්ස් ටික ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ නමින් අසෙන්ඩි නෝට් එකට ගන්න කියලානේ. එතකොට එතනදී කන්ඩිෂන් එකක් අපිට අවශ්‍ය නැහැ. මොකද ටීචර් ඔක්කොම ටීචර්ස්ලා ගන්න ඕනනේ. ඒතර ටීචර් ඩීටේල්ස් වලට ඔක්කොම සිලෙක්ට් කරගන්න ඕනේ. සිලෙක්ට් all. right. එතකොට ටීචර් ඩීටේල්ස් එකකින් ඔක්කොම ටික සිලෙක්ට් කරගන්නවා. ඔයාට where එක ඕන වෙන්නේ ෆිල්ටර් කරගන්න ඕන නම් මොකක් හරි. ඒකට දැන් මේකේ ෆිල්ටර් කිරීමක් කියලා නෑනේ. ඔක්කොම ටීචර්ස්ලාගේ data අසෙන්ඩි නෝට් එකට පෙන්වන්න කියලා තියෙන්නේ ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ නමින්. right. ඒතර where එකක් සෙට් කරගන්න ඕනේ. එක්සැම්පල් එක බලන්නකෝ.
සර් ක්ලාස් ඩීටේල්ස් කියලා දිනනකොට සර් කොලම් එකක් ගන්න බෑ නේද අපිට?
නිර්මාණ
ක්ලාස්
ක්ලාස්
ඩීටේල්ස්
ඩීටේල්ස්
කොලම් එකක්
ඔව්
ගන්න බෑ නේද සර්?
කොලම් එකක් ගන්න බෑ කියලා කියන පුතේ.
ඒ සර් වෙනම කොලම් එකක් ගන්න බෑ නේ කියන්නේ අපිට. ඩීටේල්ස් කියනකොට තුනම ගන්න ඕනද?
ඔව් ක්ලාස් ඩීටේල්ස් කිව්වම එක කොලම් එකක් තේරීමක් නැහැනේ. ක්ලාස් ඩීටේල්ස් කිව්වම ඔක්කොම ටික. එතකොට මේ ඔයාට descending order ගන්න කියලා තියෙන්නේ නමින් by their names.
සර් ටෝටල් එක හොයද්දි සම් කියන එක වැරදි නෑ නේද?
ටෝටල් එක හොයනකොට
සම් කියලා දැම්මම වැරද්දක්
ඔව්
නෑ නේ?
සම් තමයි. ඔව්. ඒ ටෝටල් එක හොයන්න කියලා කියනකොට අපිට පාවිච්චි කරන්න තියෙන්නේ සම් කියන ෆන්ක්ෂන් එක තමයි. Right, people, do you need more time? ළමයි තව ටයිම් එක ඕනද අපි කරමුද?
සර් විනාඩියක් දෙන්න පුළුවන්.
කරන්න.
සර් find number of students කියනකොට count කියන එක නේද අපිට ගන්න?
ඔව් number of students කිව්වම count එක අරගන්න පුළුවන්. Yes.
සර් teaching sessions ඒ කියන්නේ participated in teaching sessions කියනකොට කොහොමද අපි ගන්නේ? column name එක.
අන්තිම එකේද තියෙන්නේ කො බලන්න.
27.
Find the average number of hours of teaching sessions කියන එක නේද?
ඊට පස්සේ එක.
Find the number of students who participated in teaching sessions. Oh. again ළමයි කී දෙනෙක් participate වෙලා තියෙනවද teaching
ඊට
session
එකට
වලට?
ගන්න
ඒතර
වෙන්නේ
teaching
SID
session
එකක් මොකක් හරි එකක්ද? ළමයි ගන්න ඔය.
ඔව් ඔයාලට count කරගන්න වෙන්නේ ඒක. ඒ කියන්නේ ඔයාලට පාවිච්චි කරන්න වෙන්නේ අන්තිම table එක student teacher කියන table එක. ඒකනේ teaching sessions තියෙන්නේ. එතකොට ඒකේ ළමයින්ගේ SID එක ඔයාලට count කරන්න වෙනවා. SIDs කීයක් තියෙනවද කියලා. Right. People, how's the situation? I didn't receive any answers today. Right, Lamai, shall we start doing this? Yeah, like you were like writing it and send it, haven't sent it. Never mind though. I'm going to do it anyway. Right, so let's start doing these, people. So the first one, sort teacher details by their names in ascending order. Something simple, right? So how we are going to say that? Select asterisk from teacher info, order by, in the question it says by their name, right? So order by T name, right? So once I run this, yeah. So Geeta teacher comes first, Kirti sir comes next. So likewise, it goes to K. There are 3 Ks. So KE comes first, KU comes next. So Kumara and Kumari Hami, and there are 2 things. Sometimes Kumari Hami may not be in your one, right? Mamega edit convert the paper, right? So anyway, that is being arranged into the ascending order, right? Okay, so do corrections if you got any, right? So next I'm going to move to the other one. So in the next question, it says, sort class details by their names in descending order. Sort class details by their name in descending order, right? So the class details by their name. So select asterisk. I can easily change this into class info, order by C name, right? So if I run this, here it goes. So art class comes first, bio comes second, commerce comes third, maths, then technology, right? So ascending order, it's to the descending order, I'm sorry. So it goes with DESC as well, right? So technology comes first, maths next, commerce next, bio and art as the final, because it is asked to arrange in descending order. So we have to say DESC at the end of the
DESC කෙනෙක් capital දැම්මේ අවුලක් නැහැ.
no problem, no problem. Right. So the next question, find the total amount of fees that has been paid so far. Right? මේ වෙනකොට ගෙවලා තියෙන fees වල සම්පූර්ණ එකතුව. Right? So fee කියන column එක තියෙන්නේ where it is at the student table, near the student info table, right? So these are the values. මෙතන මේ 200 C0 කියලා ඉඳලා තියෙනවා නම් ඒක 2000 වෙන්න ඕනේ. right? So altogether it's going to be how much? 1,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 7,000. It's going to be 7,500, right? But maybe my figures going to be changed because I think I have more than, no, I got the same things. Yeah, so it's going to be the same, I think. Right, so here we go. We need an aggregate function to do this. So we have to say select. We have to use sum, right? And within brackets, we have to say fee. It's the fee, not the fees. The fee continuous fee from student info. That's all we want. So here we are going to run the query. Yeah, so you can see sum fee is here and it says 7,500, right? So this is going to be your query, right? And the next one, it says, find the number of teachers working at school, right? So how many teachers are there? That's we are going to find it, right? So we can use count with the teacher info table. So we can say select count. You can count any column because for each and every teacher, there is a one separate record. So each and every column contains the same amount of data, right? But it's better you count the teacher ID because it is the unique one, right? There is no rule like that, but it's like normally we are counting the primary key. So I'm counting the primary key. If you have count T name or qualification, doesn't matter, right? So select count T ID from student info. So my count should be, I'm sorry, student name, we make a teacher info. Teacher info. Right, so my count is going to be different from yours because my teacher info table has different amount of teachers. Kumari Hami is not there, I think. Yours neither. Let me see. Yeah, there's only 5 teachers. So yes, Kumara Sarat Neela Vijay is not there neither. Geeta and Kirti should be there. Is Vijay there? Yeah, Vijay there. Right. Yeah, let me check out these two as well. Right. So yeah, so this is the way that we have to write that. Select count TID from teacher info. If I execute now, it's going to give me 5. Right. So if you got any mistakes, it's time to get it correct. So the next question, let's move to the next question. So it is about, it says, find the average number of hours. Find the average number of hours of teaching sessions. Average number of hours of teaching sessions. So teaching sessions, you know, it is there in the student teacher table, right? So these are the number of hours. So they need the average number of hours, right? So for that, we can use the AVG. So we can say select AVG, and here we can take hours from student teacher, right? So This will gives you the average amount of this one. Yeah, it says 7.1111, something like that, right? So what it does is like it will add up these things together. So like 5 plus 3 is 8, plus 2 is 10, plus 10 is 20, 20 plus 6 is 26, 33, 36, 37, and 41. Yes, 41. And how many entries are there? 3, 3, 9. There are 9. So 41 divided by 9, right? Oh, 41 divided by 9. Is it correct? 60. Oh, did I miss something? The higher is oh, there's a mistake with the calculation. Hold on, let me check whether my student teacher is differ from you. Yes, it is differ from yours. I'm sorry. This is differ from yours, right? So according to my one, it's going to be like that, right? So anyway, the query is the same, right? So select ABG hours from student teacher. And the next question, it is, they are talking about find the number of students who participated in teaching sessions. Find the number of students who participated in teaching sessions, right? So as you can see, when you are answering to this question, you can see in the student teacher table, there are several, like there are duplicate SIDs, right? So if we just blindly count SID, it's going to give you a wrong information, right? So according to this, you only get S001, S002, S003, three students, and then 4, 5, and 6, only 6. So even though it has 9 records, the number of students who have participated in here is only 6, right? So metana mage venas wenna puluwan. Let me go with the student teacher one. So I have 2 T001s. So just 1 and 2 and 3 is there, and 4 is there, and 5 is there. Yeah. So I got 5 different students, right? So you have to say select, we are using count, right? And this is going to be SID. It's not just SID, we need to distinct SID from student teacher. So if I execute it, I'm having 5 students as the answer, right? So if you miss the distinct, you have to be a little bit careful when you are answering that kind of a question, right? Okay. So the next question, I asked you to do the next neither.
ප්‍රශ්න දානවද මේ අර ඩිස්ටින්ක්ට් එකට ගත්තද?
Right, here you go.
So 27th එක නේද?
මේක පුතේ 27th නේද කොබන්? Oh, 27th.
ඒක ඩිස්ටින්ක්ට් නැතුව මම කවුන්ට් කියලා ගත්තොත් වැරදි නේද?
වැරදිනේ පුතේ, මොකද ඒතරම් 9ක් කියලා එනවනේ ඔයාගේ කී විදිහට. අපිට ළමයි 9 මේක යහතින් number of students who participate in teaching sessions. Distinct නැතුව ගත්තොත් වැරදි උත්තරයක් වාට එන්නේ.
ඒ 9ක් ඉන්නේ කොහොමද කියන්නේ?
9ක් කියන්නේ මෙහෙමනේ. ඒ කියන්නේ ඔයා කියලා තියෙන්නේ මේ ටේබල් එකේ SID එක යටතේ තියෙන ටික කවුන්ට් කරන්න කියලානේ. ඒතර ඩිස්ටින්ක් ගත්තේ නැති වුණොත් මේ 9ම කවුන්ට් වෙනවා. ඒතර ඒ 9 ඇතුලේ S001 දෙසරයක් පාවිච්චි වෙනවා, S002 දෙසරයක් පාවිච්චි වෙනවා, S003 දෙසරයක් පාවිච්චි වෙනවා. ඒක ඩුප්ලිකේට් කවුන්ට් එකක් වෙනවා.
හරි සර්.
Right? හරි. Okay, so ළමයි ඊළඟ එක කරන්න බෑ. ඔයගොල්ලෝ try කරාද දන්නේ. ඒක කරන්න ඊළඟ group by statement එක එන්න ඕන. group by නැතුව ඒ වැඩේ කරන්න බෑ. 28 කරන්න බෑ group by නැතුව. Sorry, I was saying to do that. Right, so yeah, let's go to the group by one. Okay, here we go. All right, now we are at the very end of the SQL. මෙතන අද අපිට කරගන්න පුළුවන් වෙයි කියලා try කරලා දෙමු. Right, alias ගැන පොඩ්ඩක් කතා කරන්න තියෙනවා අපිට. So now we are going to discuss about the group by statement. Now, group by statement is indicating about grouping things. පොඩි කණ්ඩායම් හදන එක. Right? Now, we have learned aggregate functions previously. So, if you have a requirement like this, right, like this, we want to find total sales for each city in the store information. එතකොට එක city එකකට අදාළව කොච්චර කෙරුණාද sales. If you think about this table, Colombo has 2 records. So its total sales is 1,500 into 300 plus 300. That means 1,800. Gampaha, it's 250. Particular, it's 700. So if you want to have an output like this, so this indicates total sales per city. Right, so that means they have used an aggregate function. Without an aggregate function, you won't be able to add up the things, right? But they are adding up with a condition, right? Or due to a condition, right? ඒගොල්ලෝ කියන්නේ එකම ජාතියේ towns ටිකට අදාළ sales figures එකතු කරන්න, right? So that is where the group by statement comes. Right, so it says select city, some sales, that is according to the requirement. So you can see the city and you can see the total sales like a subtotal from store information, group by, that is the important part, group by city. Right, so it will output something like this. So city will be there. So city by city, it will show you the total sales. Now, earlier, what has happened when we use some sales, it gives us the total sales of the entire column, right? All the figures are added up together and it shows us the final total, right? But here, they are showing us the total like according to the city or as a subtotal per city, right? So to do that, we need group by statement, right? So according to the column that you are used inside the group by will be considered to have the subtotal, right? Okay, is that clear, people?
සර් A1 කියන්නේ
A1
අර ඉස්සෙල්ලා උඩ ස්ටේට්මන්ට් එකේ තිබ්බ.
කොතනද නිර්මාණ මම හිතනවා ඊළඟ එක්සැම්පල් එක දිහා බලාගෙන කතා කරන්න.
වෙන්නේ හරි සර්.
හරි මෙතන එක කියන්නේ 24වෙනි පිටුවේ උඩම තියෙන example එක ගැනම කියන්නේ.
හරි සර් හරි මගේ පැටලෙලා.
Right. People, is that clear? I need the confirmation. Right, okay. How about others? Yes, everyone? Right, okay. Right, okay. All right. So having statement is going to give you the chance to deal with the condition with aggregate functions. Now we use where statement so far to deal with the conditions, but we can't use the where statement to show a condition regarding an aggregate function. Right, then aggregate function area then api group by එකේදී subtotals ගත්තනේ. ඒ subtotal එක යම් කිසි ගානකට වඩා වැඩි නම් වගේ දෙයක් කරන්න. එතකොට එකතු කරලා ඒ එකතුවට condition එකක්. So aggregate function එකකට අදාළ වෙන condition එකක්. where condition එකේදී ගොඩක් වෙලාට අපි කරේ මොකක් හරි එක value එකක නේද table එකක එක cell එකකට අදාළ value එකක් තමයි අපි argue කරන්නේ. So where condition cannot be used to argue the aggregate functions or the illustrate aggregate function conditions. If you want to put a condition for an aggregate function, then you have to use the having statement, right? So here the requirement, we might want to see only the cities with sales over 1,500. So the total sales එක 1,500 වලට වැඩි cities තෝරලා දෙන්න. Right? So first of all, SQL needs to subtotal the sales. Right? So which will be done by the group by statement. Then using the having statement, we can say, okay, the things you have grouped, just see the subtotal, whether it is larger than 1,500. Then show those things. Right? So how they have done that? Select city sum sales, the same way that we have done earlier, from store information, group by city. So the same thing happens. Again, it's the exact answer that we are going to receive. This is the one we are going to receive. So instead of this, your output has only these two lines. It is because of the having statement. Having statement says having some sales larger than 1,500. Right? So it is applying a condition to the aggregate function, which cannot be done using the where clause. Right? Okay, so it gives you, if when it says larger than 1,000, Colombo has 1,800, so that's the only record that it shows, not the Gampaha, not the Batiklo. Got that, people? Can I have the confirmation? Right, okay. Yes, then comes the aliases. Yeah, first we talk about the column aliases. There are two types of aliases, and this is the end of the SQL, but regarding the joins we have to talk about, right? Joins වලින් පස්සේ අපි මේ ටික කතා කරා නේද? Insert into statements ටික. We talk about the data manipulation language. Right? So when it comes to the aliases, now the literal meaning of the alias is some another name, right? Alias කියලා කියන්නේ වෙනත් නමක් කියන එක. right? So we use the aliases for the same purpose in SQL, right? So sometimes your table names may like have it in a very long manner, right? So instead of that long name, it's better we can have a short name, so we can use that short name for the place where we need to use the table name. You will see there will be a lot of requirements when we are doing the joins to use the table name here and there in the query, right? And again, if you think about these outputs, මේ කලින් example එකේ අපිට ආපු outputs වල දැන් output එකේ නේද some sales කියලා තියෙනවට වඩා නේද එතන total sales කියලා අපිට පෙන්න ගන්න පුළුවන් නම් which is going to be a good one නේද එතන city කියන එක වෙනුවට වෙන නමක් පෙන්වන්න අවශ්‍ය නම් stores කියලා පෙන්වන්න අවශ්‍ය නම් right, you have to use these aliases, right? So first I'm going to tell you how the column aliases is used. To that, don't use this, no, you can use this particular example, but I need you to do something. In your book, please cut down these highlighted parts. එක ටිපෙට්ස් කරත් කමක් නැහැ. Right? ඒ ටික අස් කරන්න. Otherwise මොකද එතන තියෙන්නේ ඒ column table alias එකක් වෙන්න. I'll give you a separate example for that. Right? මේ example එකෙන් මේ a1 dot a1 dot මෙතන a1 මෙතන a1 dot කියලා තියෙන ටික අස් කරන්න. Right? Don't consider those. Right? Now look at this example carefully, right? So here what they have done is they have told select city, that is the same column over here, the column name, right? So the requirement is the earlier requirement, take in the total sales by the city. Colombo total එක කොච්චරද, ගම්පහ total එක කොච්චරද, බැටික්ලෝ total එක කොච්චරද. අපි group by statement එකේ කරේ. It's the same example. Only difference is the output. In the output column, this has a name called store, this has a name called total sales. Rest of the things are same, right? So they say select. දැන් මම මේ highlight කරලා තියෙන part එක මම consider කරන්නේ නැහැ, right? People just a second, I'll edit that using the editor, so it will be easy. All right. Okay. All right, here we go. Yeah. So here, now look at, now aratika makala tiyenne, right? So it says select city, that is this city column, and you have a space over here, and they have given another name store, which is the name displays here. So that means for city column, use this name in the output, right? So this is called a column alias, right? So this is called a column alias. And then put a comma, they have a comma, then some sales. So it says take the total of the sales. And then again, a space is there. Then they have used a name called total sales, which displays here, right? So, and again, new thing happens. Inverted commas are being used. Inverted commas are being used because this alias has two words separated by a space. Right? එහෙම ස්පේස් එකකින් වෙන් වෙලා තියෙනකොට නිකන් ලිව්වොත් total space sales කියලා SQL consider කරන්නේ total කියන කැලේ විතරයි. Right? So to indicate these two things are one particular bundle, so we have to use double quotes. Right? So saying total sales. Right?
සර් ටෝටල් සේල්ස් කියන නිසා අපිට දැන් මේ SQL ලියන්න આવොත් ඒක දෙනව නේද අපිට? එන හිතන්න ඕනේ.
ඔව් නෑ හිතන්න දෙයක් නෑ. ඒගොල්ලෝ සාමාන්‍යයෙන් ඒගොල්ලෝ ඉන්ඩිකේට් කරන්න ඕනේ මේ කියන alias එක පාවිච්චි කරන්න කියලා. නැත්නම් ඒගොල්ලෝ කියන්න ඕනේ like suitable aliases කියලා. එතකොට අපිට කැමති එකක් ගන්න පුළුවන්. Right? Then it says from store information group by city. So it's the old query that we have learned. So the only difference is the same output is coming. The only difference is store is used instead of city over here, since the alias is given, and total sales is used instead of some sales. කලින් එකේ තිබුණේ මතකයිනේ නේද? මේ විදිහට some sales එන විදිහට තිබුණේ. මේ තියෙන්නේ output එක. දැන් මේකම තමයි අපි එතන අරගත්තේ. කරපු එකම වෙනස මේ city එක වෙනුවට store කියලා එන්න හැදුවා, some sales කියන එකට total sales කියලා එන්න හදපු එක. Right? Okay, so that is what you call the column aliases. Is that clear, people? Everyone? Right. Okay. So let's go for the questions. Right. So now you can try from 28 to 32. Right. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. I'll give you 7 minutes. It's 6:15. I'm going to discuss this by 6:22. If you complete the things, you can send it to me. I can go through. Anyway, I'm going to do it on the screen. Right? Okay, start doing it, people.
සර් 28 වෙනි එකේ ගන්න වෙන්නේ select address sum කියන එකට නේ සර් fee එක ගන්න වෙන්නේ.
ඔව් ඊට පස්සේ ඒක group කරන්න ඕනේ address එක. එතකොට ඕක each address එකට ඉල්ලලා තියෙන නිසා ඔයාගේ selection එකේ තියෙන්න ඕනේ address එකයි total fee එකයි දෙකම. right?
එතකොට ඒ column name දෙක ලිව්වා නම් ඇතිනේ.
total එක ගන්න එක්කෙනාට aggregate function එකක් පාවිච්චි කරන්න ඕනේ. fee එකට aggregate function එකක් පාවිච්චි කරන්න ඕනේ. All right, I received an answer. Lalindi. Okay, yes, yes. Yes, 28th is correct. Very good. 29th. Yes, that is correct as well. Yes. Yes, 20. No, the 30th is correct as well. 31st. Okay, okay. Okay. It says find student ID of the students who was taught more than 10 hours. Society, some hours. Okay. Yeah, yeah. 31st is correct as well. And 32nd. All right. Yeah. In 32nd, Lalindi, you have to use the aliases. They have said find the TID and number of hours of the teachers who have taught more than 7 hours. Output table should have the heading as identification and total hours. So that you should comes with the aliases. TID as the identification. Your query is correct. Only the aliases are being missing. Got it, Dua? Right, great, great. Okay. People, how about the situation of others? Can we do these things and see, or do you need more time? Lalindi, Dua, in the it's like this, Dua. What they are asking you to do is like the thing we have done in here. So instead of having city, we said it's need to be says as store. Instead of having some sales, it needs to be like this. So you are asked to do the same. So like instead of now you are using TID ne? And the number of hours. Ne? So instead of TID, I need identification. In the output, instead of number of hours, you need the total hours. Yeah, it's only for the 30-second one. Yes, though, yes, yes, yes. Only for the 30-second one. Yes. All right. So people, let's do it like this. So we are left with only 2 minutes, right? So you people just finish the things off. Like we start today, I'll start doing the practicals by next session. So most probably we will be able to finish up the things. As you can see, there is only a few more to go. Api 39th වල ඉඳලා 41st වෙනකම් කරා. So we only need to cover 33 and 30 from 33 to 38, right? So which will
මේක ඩිස්කස් කරනවා නේද?
නෑ මේ ටික පුතේ ඕගොල්ලෝ ලියලා ඉවර කරගන්න මම ඊළඟ වීක් එකේ පටන් ගන්න දවසේ ඩිස්කස් කරනවා. තව විනාඩි දෙකක් වගේනේ තියෙන්නේ. Right? So ඉවර කරගන්න. So I'll start the session by next week by discussing these things, right? So the important thing is you try it by yourself and send me the answers, right? That is what we need, right? So, okay. So people, I'm going to end the session from here, right? I'll see you next week for the same time and we'll start practicing this and end the SQL, right? So once you're done with this, you are done with the 8 lessons, right? Which is a very good achievement, right? So I think we are very early in our syllabus, right? So good. So we will be having more time to do the revision and the practicing part, right? Okay, so thank you very much, people. Have a nice day and be safe, right? And good night to everyone, right? Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
29th එකේ සර් each students කියලා දිනකට කොහමද ගන්නේ?
Each student find the total number of hours spent by each student for session by SID. එතකොට each student කිව්වම අපි group කරන්න ඕනේ SID එකේ. ඒ කියන්නේ දැන් මේ කියන්නේ එක එක ළමයා කොච්චර පැය ගණක් වෙන් කරලා තියෙනවද කියලානේ. ඒතර S001 මෙතෙන්දී hours 5යි S001 මෙතෙන්දී hours 10යිනේ. ඒතර වගේ output එක එන්න ඕනේ S001 hours 15යි කියලා.
මම ඒක ලියුවේ සර් මේ select SID, some hours කියලා මේ from student teacher group by SID කියන එක.
හරියටම හරි.
having කියන එක අපි ගන්නේ කොතනද? මට එතනයි doubt එක තියෙන්නේ.
having එක තාම මෙතනට ඇවිල්ලා නැහැ. having එක ඔයාට ඕමනා වෙයි.
මට having ගන්න තියෙන තැනට තමයි ප්‍රශ්නේ තියෙන්නේ. මම 32ක් ලියුවා සර් මේ 30යි 31යි තියෙන්නේ මම ලියන්නේ.
30යි 31ටයි having ඕන වෙන්නේ නැහැ.
ඒක මම ඩිස්කස් කරමුද කියලා waiting. අවුලක් නැහැ අයින සතිවා.
right, okay. 31ට having ඕන වෙනවා. ඉතින් ඔයාට මේ
අපි කොහොමද ගන්න having ඕනද කියලා?
අයි මේ තියෙන්නේ මේ කියලා තියෙනවානේ who was taught more than 10 hours කියලා condition එකක් තියෙනවානේ. පැය 10කට වඩා උගන්වපු කෙනෙක්. එතකොට එතනදී ඔයාට condition එකක් set වෙනවා. පැය 10ට වඩා
condition එක තිබ්බොත් විතරද having ගන්න ඕනේ?
ඔව්. ඒ කියන්නේ aggregate function එකට දැන් මේකේ කියලා තියෙනවානේ find the student ID of students who was taught more than 10 hours. එතකොට ඔයා මුලින්ම student IDs ටිකට අදාළව total hours ටික calculate කරනවා. calculate කරලා බලනවා ඒ total එක 10ට වැඩි වෙන්නේ මොන වෙලාවටද කියලා. ඒතර total එකක් 10ට වැඩි වෙනවද කියලා බලනවා නම් total එක ගන්න අපිට aggregate function එකක් ඕනේනේ. ඒ aggregate function එකක් තමයි condition එක විදිහට check වෙන්නේ. එතකොට ඔයාට having එක ඕනේ.
ඒතර සර් 30 වෙනි එකේ find the total hours කියනවා. ඒතර some hours කියනකොට some hours නේ ගන්න වෙන්නේ නේ අපි.
ඔව්.
අර having කියන එක තමයි දවස් ප්‍රශ්නේ. මේකෙන් condition එකක් තිබ්බොත් විතර අපි having දාන්න ඕනේ.
අනිවාර්යයි. condition එකක් තිබ්බොත් විතරයි having එක ඕනේ.
දෙකක් තියෙනවනේ.
මොකද පුතේ?
32ක් තියෙනවනේ. having එක.
ඔව් 32ත් having එකක් තියෙනවා. more than 7 hours කතාවක් තියෙනවනේ.
හරි සර්. හරි මම ඒක හදලා දෙවන්න සර්.
හරි බලන්න.
තුනක් හරි.
මම බලන්න.
Thank you sir. Good night.
Right, okay, good night.